Hey there fellow Hot Wheels collectors, it's been a hot one and the last car boot sale was absolutely brilliant. Got a huge haul. Let's start. I'm going to go through this quickly. First of all, we have from Matchbox the Ford panel van. A very nice sweet little model. Very nice indeed. Still has the detail on top, which is quite nice. Next we have a majorette Porsche. It's just literally called Porsche. I think this is a 90s or 80s one. Pretty cool. I think it came with a track set, so I do actually have another one here. Yeah, here's the exact same one, but with different wheels on. I don't know what these wheels are. These certainly don't appear to be majorette. Early 2000 majorette, yes. But as you can see, both exactly the same, just different colours, which is really cool. Next we have a seater coach from Matchbox. Don't have this one in yellow. It's in very good condition indeed. Very nice to have. Next we have a little MB job, foam fire truck I think it says. This has termites, or terminate termites, however you say that. Cool little model. Next we have a truck, the Ford pickup. It says A, so I presume that's what it means. It probably had something on the back here because it looks like it did, but either way I'm happy to have it because it is a nice pickup truck and it is a nice one to have. Next we have from Corgi Wheels the Earth Fire Engine Water Tender. Now I usually see these regularly, but I don't pick them up because they're usually missing the ladder or in really piss poor condition. So I picked this one up because it is really mint. Next we have Muscle Tone in the Scorchers series. Very nice decal design. Again, a nice muscle tone to get. Next we have a Shadow DM5 from Majorette. This I would presume is probably an F1 racer from the 70s or early 80s. Still has all the decal stickers on it. Even has a little guy inside as well, which is pretty cool. Next we have a bit of a rare beast, a Fiat 127 from Majorette, early 70s one. You can tell it's 70s because of the wheels. Also as well, has a cute little doggy in it as well. That's something Matchbox used to do. Has opening doors as well, which is pretty cool as well. Next we have Limo from Hot Wheels. Love this model. Shame it got final run really. This would be a nice one to see back in the lineup, but it did get final run. I mean, with that huge hole in the top, you could easily probably sort of like sell it nowadays. Next we have a Corgi Simon Snorkel fire engine with attachment. Now sadly it doesn't stay up in place, but that is pretty cool to have all the pieces to it. Usually you'll just find it with the white bit on, but to have all of that, oh yes, I definitely had to have that. Next we have Ambulance, and this one's pretty cool. Not only is it in cool detail, has an opening rear door, and it does actually have a guy in there. You can just about see someone in there. That is pretty cool and functional. Next we have a Ford truck, I think this is, or Dodge Commodore truck with Kit Kat on the side. I love Kit Kats, I haven't on them for years. Really cool things to have. Next we have a Ford Model T, or 32 Ford. This model has recently come out again. I prefer this one though, unfortunately the newer one, it looks the same, but I mean I'd have one if it was cheap, but. Next we have from Motor Max, I don't usually pick these up, we have a 69 Pontiac GTO Judge. Now the only reason why I picked this up is A, it's really cool looking, and B, it has rubber wheels, which is rather rare. Because usually most of these Motor Max ones, they don't have rubber wheels at all. This must have been a special lineup. I mean, it does have some detail on the front as well. Nothing on the rear, but either way, very cool model, and one that I definitely had to grab. Next we have MS-T Suzuka, however you say that. Pretty cool purple model with flames on the side, absolutely gorgeous looking car. Next we have a Jaguar XJS, but this one is from the Supercat Jaguar XJ-H.E Special Motor Show 82 edition. This was probably BL's way of sort of like creating sort of like kiddie influence and get Dad to buy a Jag, because it's like a case of it came with a free toy car, or they were just handing them out. Either way, very happy to get that one. It's a weird one to have. Next we have Rabid Transit with the cool Japanese decals down the side. Probably says something like Hot Wheels or Fast on the side, or it's just some random lettering. Next we have Switchback from the Highway 35 Wave Racers series. Usually I don't see these. Unfortunately missing the surfboards that came out of the rear, but actually that might have been something that happened. Back in sort of like the early 2000s, a lot of Diora 2s and Diora 1s didn't come with the surfboards, so maybe this is one of the ones that didn't have the surfboards, because they were a choking hazard, and Mattel didn't change the packaging to say choking hazard until sort of like about 05, 06 when they had that sort of thing. But yeah, that's pretty cool to get. Next we have Dependious, I think this is how you say that truck. A very cool little truck with auto assistance on the top there, and one tow hitch. Sadly the other one's missing, but it still has one, and it's quite a nice model, and one that I didn't have, so I definitely had to grab that. Next we have Corgi Junior's Vids wheels. We have the Studebaker Wagoneer in hospital colours with the decal on the side, and yes, there is even a patient inside of there. Sadly I thought this did slide back, or there might have been something there, but no, it is just one solid object. I don't know if that was real, so if you want to explain to me, please do. Next we have van. Yeah, this is a Renault traffic van, because it's no longer van, but in the 90s they just changed it to van. It's also no longer got made in England, and Corgi has put their own logo over the top of it as well. A very nice basic one to have, pretty cool to add. Another Dependious, this was International Foundation. Now this probably did have something on the back here like a roll cage or something, but either way it's a really cool model, one that I didn't have, so one that I was definitely going to grab. Next we have a Ferrari 456 GT, a very nice model indeed, in beautiful purple with white tampos on the side from Matchbox. Very common 90s model that. I think that's when sort of like Ferrari were literally basically saying, oh yeah, that looks like the real thing, whereas now, whereas a couple of years ago they were saying doesn't really look like our car. Next we have a 2000 Corvette in beautiful crimson. I think that's what that's called, or dark purple or red. Very nice. Can't call it Spectraflame because that's Hot Wheels. Next we have, I think, a painted Mercedes-Benz bus. I've got a few of these coming up. I think it's been painted because I don't exactly know what the original colour was, but either way, also as well the headlights have been painted. Corgi would never do that sort of detailing. Next we have a 55 Bel Air from Matchbox with, I think, some kind of sport logo on the side. Still, either way, really nice model to get, really cool to have. Next we have a Porsche, and this is connectables. These break up, and you could connect things to them. These are incredibly rare to find, and if you do find them, expensive. It's really surprising how much they're worth nowadays. I kind of wish I didn't smash all the ones I had up. Next we have a Corgi dumper truck with Lanik on the side. No idea what Lanik is. Still, it does tip beautifully. Also has Matchbox wheels as well, because they're from the Super Kings line. Rather odd. Next we have a dumper truck from Corgi with NBC on the side. Now my first thought was Nebraska Council, but then I thought no, because America doesn't have councils, so maybe it's sort of like some city or something that had them commissioned, because they seem very basic. Next we have a Ford tanker from Majorette with GS tanker on the side. Sadly missing the trailer, because these did come with a trailer with another fuel tanker, but oh well. Next we have an MB2 news truck with intergalactic research. There's actually quite a few of these that were made. This was quite a common model. I do need a few more. There was a post on Facebook of someone who had a load of these, and I only had 2 of them in there. Next we have a it doesn't actually say what this is, but I think this is called Dixie Charger. I had to grab this, even though it has been scratched up and is pretty well abused. It's still in really good condition. It's unfortunately a Malaysia base. That's the common one. It also has the Malaysia, or it had a plate on it, but the Malaysia has been put on top of it. Another muscle tone with Turbo 101 on the side, or JC1 maybe. Cool model to have. Next, I think I already have this little Mata Rancho with the Safari, but it does actually have all the bits at the back, so I'll have to see if I can find that. Either way, pretty cool model to have. I might actually just get rid of that one, because if I already have one, then oh well. Next we have another Corgi, another Corvette. This is a Chevy Corvette, beautiful orange with black stripes. That is really cool. You may remember quite a while ago I found a broken one of this Ford panel van. Well, I now found the minty version, so I now have a beta and a minty version. Pretty cool to have. Next we have a Circus Pompier. This is a Ford panel truck of some kind. Doors do open as well, so that's pretty cool, or door does. The sealed Matchbox 65 Mustang. This is the one that used to have the flapping roof but now doesn't. I have this in a 5-pack where the roof with the bonnet does open. Next we have whatever this one is. I don't know if this is a Johnny Lightning, a Green, a Jada, or whatever. Doesn't have anything on the base, but it is another 55 Bel Air. Gorgeous model, I had to have that. Next we have a 12 Ford Mustang in beautiful colours. This is like a 2012-2013 release. Still cool either way. Next we have the VW van, or microbus. This is when the new VW Bug came out in about the early 2000s. This was supposed to be the new VW bus. It bombed. They never made any. Next we have two more Mercedes. They're both exactly the same. One is Heathrow, a 90s model. The other one says school bus with decals on the side. They're both the same, just that one's a little cheaper and one's from the 90s. Next we have a Land Rover from Majorette with Pompier. I presume this was probably a circus set you could buy back in the day. Still pretty cool. Next we have another truck, the dump truck with something on the side of the dumping thing. Ooh, it does lift up like so. A very cool model to have. Then we also have the camper van from Lesney. This has the little opening thing at the side. Pretty cool model, very basic. We then have another Land Rover with police on the side. Don't know if it did have anything on the top like the other one. Has an opening door as well at the rear. Next we have Dog Fighter. So I'm having to go fast here because I don't know if I'm allowed to do more than 15 minutes. But there's Dog Fighter, pretty cool. Next we have another Porsche. This is the racing Porsche with Cadbury's buttons on it. Very cool model indeed. Majorettes from the 90s. We have a rally car, the Toyota something or other. Very cool model, and it's Majorette as well, because it does say. We then have a Peugeot 206 from Majorette as well. These are obviously 90s or early 2000s, because I remember watching these race around when I was a child. And then finally we have a Burbank Key cars from Matchbox, and this is in the iRock car thing. A very cool model indeed. Anyway, that is all I have time for. I'm not going to do the carded stuff, I'll leave that for another video. See you next time.